Our stuff tends to gravitate toward a classic hot rod look. We like a certain stance. We like 18s and 20s.
Welcome to Whitlock Garage, where we're united by trucks. Today, we're with Brian Harrison of Harrison's Rod & Custom in Greenville, Tennessee, and we're gonna show you this slick, classically clean square body that he built in Greenville, Tennessee. All right guys, so we're super happy to be showing you this 85 square body today. In a world of billet wheels and bag trucks, which we have no problem with, Brian Harrison is definitely standing out with his formula on these square bodies as it relates to suspension, wheels and tires, engine and drivetrain, and just the little details that make these trucks super, super cool and stand out. So y'all check this thing out. So we're here with Brian Harrison from Harrison's Rod & Custom, Harrison's Rod Shop on Instagram. He's gonna tell us a little bit about this 85.
It's an 85 Silverado. Picked it up a couple, 3 years ago or so. Built the thing for myself. Didn't really have much intention of selling it, but a customer of mine came along. Bob Talaferro owns the truck now. He lets me use it still. He's a good customer, got to be a real good friend. Picked it up from a man named Rick Gross. He did the paint work on it. He was actually driving the truck some, and we kind of picked it up from there and took it on. He had done another truck for us, a K5 Blazer we got from him that he did, and we picked this one up, and it was smoking, had some engine issues, and we just kind of pushed it from there. New drivetrain, new suspension, pretty much every inch of the truck's been touched now.
There's a very specific thing that you do that I think is very different from what a lot of people are doing these days on these trucks, and obviously that's the reason I wanted to talk to you about this truck. But let it, give the viewers a little bit of an idea as to what that formula looks like.
So I grew up with a muscle car, street rod, kind of hot rod background. My dad had cars back in the 60s, 70s and stuff, and we're used to the kind of the old school look. And I don't have anything against the people. You want to do 24s, 22s, 20s and 22s, whatever. I like all kinds of trucks.
Yep.
But our stuff tends to gravitate toward like a classic hot rod look. We like a certain stance. We like 18s and 20s. And I get people asking, why you don't do 20s all the way around? We like that too, but we're kind of sticking with what's working for us. So I've got a picture of my dad with this 70 Roadrunner on American 5-spokes back in the day. And that's why we still run Americans. And between me and him, we don't have any idea how many sets we've owned. And I've got a certain formula that how I do some measurements and perspectives and the proportion of this to that to how to get the stance the way I get it. But we like everything leaning forward. We're staying anywhere from 4.5 to 6. Sometimes we've been as much as 7 down in the front. The rear, we'll do a flip on them. We do flip and hanger, flip and shackle, flip, shackles and hangers. I'm doing an 87 right now. You can find it hashtagged blue collar.
Yeah.
We're running at 9 inches of drop in the back and right around 6 to 7.
Wow.
And we're still working with the front, doing some changes to it to get the ride right. But we do a few little modifications to get the travel right and get the geometry and stuff to work okay on it. And,
that's sweet.
Without having to go the next level with a lot of chassis mods and a lot of tubular stuff. We do that too on some of them, but we like to engineer the truck to ride low, to live low to start with. We do this, we do that, blah, blah, blah.
Tell us a little bit more about that wheel and tire setup. I know that you put that out on Instagram, so I don't feel like I'm asking you a question you don't want to talk about, but let us know a little bit more about the wheel and tire setup you're putting on these square bodies.
So we like to stay with 18s and 20s. We do a lot of American racing one-piece wheel stuff just because it fits the truck right. 30.5-inch tall back tire, 295, 45, 20 on a 20 by 10, and we're doing 225, 50, 225, 55, 18s on the front. Like I said, it's not a secret. We ship that combo, and we'll tell a customer, hey, if you want to do your truck, you want to look like this is what it takes. But there are a few little things we're doing to suspension that won't leave the under the hat. But
I love that. Tell us a little bit about the drivetrain setup in this truck. We'll get an exhaust clip here in a minute and drop it in. this thing sounds really, really good.
So I use a guy, David's Engine Shop, David Mathis. He's there in Greenville. He's built several engines for us. We've not had any trouble, and we stick with people. We're doing business with people we've been doing business with for 10, 12 years. We get somewhere, we stay. We build friendship. So the truck was electronic spark control from the factory. It was already changed to a non-electronic 350 turbo. It's got a 2200 stall B&M converter in it with a 355 Urson roller cam, late model IROC Z heads with some head work, roller rockers, quick fuel carburetor, MSD distributor. It's 375-ish, maybe 4 horsepower. Wow. He's done this combination several times, and for some that have been in the dyno, this one has not. But you know, we didn't really care. We was looking for the sound. We wanted it to sound like a hot rod. That's another thing. We want them to sound like they look.
Well, tell us a little bit about the exhaust system, since that's a major part of how this thing sounds.
3-inch collector shorty headers, 3-inch pipe back. We use AAA muffler in Greenville for all our exhaust work. 3-inch MagnaFlow, flat turbos. And then we've kind of got a way we're doing our tailpipes over and over again, where we keep it tucked up to the frame type. We just crook it down below the bumper and keep it hidden.
That's sweet.
Don't want any tips showing or anything like that.
That's awesome. Well, speaking of bumper, let's move to the back. You have done some really cool mods and some little trick stuff back here. Tell us a little bit about this bumper.
So we use a sport bumper. I think this truck actually is a step bumper truck converted to a sport bumper. But we're modifying the frame, we're modifying the bracket a little bit, kind of a combination of the both. And we're pushing the thing up because this body line is just too coincidental not to tuck that bumper where it goes. And you can close that gap up, get rid of the pans, so we like it nice tight look in the back. There's several ways of going about this, but we've kind of figured out a quick and easy way. We can turn one of these out in about an hour.
Wow. People are really into stock looking interiors these days, and man, you really nailed it on this one. Tell us a little bit about this interior.
Factory color on the interior. Door panels a little bit lighter. We went just a little more with more of a bone than a saddle, but went to the dark brown dash pad, and then all the dash trim, the door panel trim, we did a 3M Dynoc vinyl. It's basically like a wrap what you would do, but you've got countless numbers of wood grain that you can pick from. So I did all the wood grain inside the way we wanted it. Steering wheels, GM, what they call comfort grip. They come in anything from a Camaro, Chevelle, Corvette, what have you. We use ACC carpet. I'm a dealer for them, so we put ACC and everything. And
what about the seat?
The seat was what Rick had in the truck, and we just left it alone. Yeah. He'd been using, like I said, he was driving the truck some.
Well, it looks great. It fits the truck real well, and still has a a stockish look. This truck won square body pick at the National Street Rod Association show. We'll go for a little ride in this bad boy. Hey Brian, this thing is just incredibly tasteful.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Incredibly tasteful. No droopy headliner. You'll notice that.
We fought the rotten foam and got it cleaned up and fixed it.
Yeah, so that looks killer.
The biggest mess ever.
To be as low as this thing is, it rides good. That's the secret, huh?
Gotta have
the Harrison Rod Custom Sauce.
Gotta have a plan.
Yeah.
And I like air ride. I've had air ride stuff. I've done air ride stuff. It's got its place. But we've done so much stuff. We are to the point we like the challenge of trying to get the thing to live right low. What do you do with a car that I can't bump it up to get inside over the sidewalk at the hotel? What do you do if I'm on the interstate? There's a cap. We're left laning at 85. What are you gonna do when you see something in the street? So
I like that live right low. Sorry to cut you off there.
Well, it's
that live right low. That's a killer motto.
My dad, he's got where he likes lowered stuff too, and he was kind of slow to come around. He didn't know about this lowered stuff, but we've had this talk. He's like, it ain't so bad when the thing is made to where you can still use it, you can still steer it.
Yep.
You can put it in a trailer, you can do whatever. But like I said, we like all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, you've nailed this. Just a testament to the suspension on this truck. Yesterday when we were going to Southeastern Truck Nationals, I hit that same little bump you just hit, and I felt like the front wheel was coming off of Teddy. You know, so we're 5.5 on that truck, and it's just spindle springs, and you know, we hit that bump right there just then, and no rattles, no nothing. You know,
the key I think is in your shocks. You got to maintain a certain amount of travel. You've got to keep angles. There's a lot of stuff to keep into consideration. And you know, it's easier after we've done so many of these things. I mean, we've been doing these things since the 90s. You know? I was liking trucks when trucks weren't crazy.
Yeah, me too.
And don't get me wrong, I mean, I'd love to have a shop full of 33 Fords and 32 Fords.
For sure.
But, you know, you got to adapt to the market. Yep. My market started turning toward trucks. We'll still do a 60s car. We'll still do whatever, you know.
Yep.
But I'm tickled to death that the trucks are the way they are.
Me too.
The times are changing. You know, a working man go out and grab a square body, do some things as he goes along, but he may not be able to drop $250,000 into a high-end, you know, street rod. He may not be able to drop $50,000 into a good muscle car, 60s car build, but he can grab one of these things. So
this is the perfect formula and the perfect time to get into trucks like these. I mean, if you're looking for something that you can put together on a budget, like you said, work on it a little as you go along, this is the perfect time to do it. Perfect kind of truck to do it in. Thanks for tuning into Whitlock Garage. Big thanks to Brian Harrison of Harrison's Rod and Custom and Bob Talaferro for letting us film this truck. I mean, we've had a great time. This is a really, really cool truck, and we've just had a blast bringing this content to you. So definitely go follow Brian, Harrison's Rod and Custom on Instagram. Keep up with what they're doing. I think you'll be really pleased with all the content that he's got coming out on his Instagram page. He works on square bodies and all sorts of other GM vehicles and other vehicles and makes them, you know, his own. He puts his little touch on there, and you can hear Goldine rumbling in the background here, but really appreciate you tuning in. We'll catch you next time on Whitlock Garage. Cue the music.